I would imagine everybody's faced this problem, and that is when you hear about someone who's died and they chose to take their own life. There's that one person you know. Sometimes they're the person that makes you laugh in the office with stupid jokes, or family gatherings and they've got, daft antics that, amuse you. Other times you think, wow, that person's got everything. So what is the reason? What possibly could be going through a person's head to make someone who, to the outside world, looks like they've got their shit together, really, really lose their shit and just decide that they don't want to do this anymore? I've seen this happen too many times, and that's why I thought I'd make this video. So do you think you'd know somebody who you came across every day and you'd be able to tell whether that person was suffering with mental health issues? Well, hopefully by the end of this video you'll know, and more importantly you'll understand how to help and how to spot when they need help. So I'm just going to run through a little scenario now. Two people having a conversation, and I'm maybe going to give you a perspective to that kind of conversation that'll hopefully just make you think a little bit harder about every time you converse with somebody, just what could possibly be going through the mind of the other person, and hopefully give you an idea of being able to read their responses, just to understand if maybe they are struggling and maybe they just need a little bit of extra help, or maybe they're really struggling and you need to spot the worrying telltale signs so you can really help them. You alright, mate? Yeah, okay, thanks. You alright, mate? How's things with you anyway? You got a new job, didn't you? How's that working out for you? Or are you still at the old place? So in that little scenario, you may or may have not spotted, but one person is just going, yeah, I'm alright. But there was a pause there. And that pause is the first little telltale sign that you need to just understand that that person might need to talk a little bit more about something that they're just not able to right now. But it's as simple as that. 99% of the time when you speak to somebody and you ask them, you alright, mate? They'll come back and go, yeah, I'm fine, thanks. How are you? How's blah, blah, blah? And that interaction is obviously the key that you're looking for, really. Somebody's interaction being genuine and forthcoming, very positive, and somebody else's interaction being thoughtfully quite short. And the second one, well, that was a deflection. The person didn't answer the question and quite clearly didn't want to answer the question. And that should be where you look a little bit more closer about facial expressions, their general demeanor. If you've interacted with them quite a few times recently, is it always this way? Do you know of other people that have interacted with them and perhaps they've given you the same sort of impression? And that's why you're here now asking them, you all right, mate? And those are real telltale signs of somebody who really doesn't want to talk about what's going through their head right now. Now, one thing I will say is if they don't want to talk about it, then this is going to be difficult. They've got experience about this. But there's always a first time that somebody who's suffering from mental health issues, and I'm talking about people who they don't even value the air they breathe the majority of the time. They don't even want to be here, they don't think they should be here, and they think everybody else is generally got their shit together and it's them that's wandering around generally just being a waste of space. And there's a reason why they feel that way, and those reasons could just be that life's been a bit crap to them, but it could be something else as well. So let's just run through a little scenario. So when they were younger, there was one particular night they weren't having a great night. Maybe they've had some alcohol. Maybe they had an argument with somebody. Maybe something went down. And they decided that was going to be it. And they did something to take the pain away. And then, as the realization hit of what they'd done and the potential of what was about to happen next hit them like a brick, and they reached out to somebody. And that somebody was someone close to them, someone who didn't really know that they were going through anything like that or had the potential of taking those steps. But that person came straight away, took them to hospital. Hospital sorted themselves out, whatever was done, stomach pump, stitching, whatever. The body was fixed. The medics did their job and the body was functional again. But the mind's still fucked. Now, as awful as this is going to sound, but hospitals really aren't the best place to fix people's minds. Certainly not in that way anyway. So they're let out of hospital. They're given an appointment with someone to talk to. But therein lies the next problem. They don't really want to talk to someone about what's going through their head. They don't know how to. They can't relate to them. And in all fairness, when they talk about something like that, it makes them feel stupid, like people are going to laugh at them. Now, at the same time, something really bad happened, which was that the one person they called upon to get help at that very, very dark moment saw them do something that you don't see a lot of people around you ever do. You don't see people at that point in life, or at that point very close to the end of their life. And that changes people. And then the other reason for not wanting to talk to people could be that they're protecting those people. They don't want to offload the pain and all the crap that they're holding and put that on anybody else, even in the slightest amount. Even if the person they'd want to talk to just listens for, a couple of bits of what they say or whatever, and, oh no, you're suffering with, you just need to get out more. Let's go out more, or something like that. So that person then might believe that they're helping, that somebody they see is struggling with something, so they want to help. Let's go out. Let's go to a party or a gig or something like that, which generally would help someone, Music's good, getting out, meeting other people, having conversations, usually lifts people's spirits. But the downside of that is that they've transferred some of their pain, some of their crap to the other person, and now that person feels obliged to try and fix them. And in their view, they're helping fix them. They're like, oh, I can do this and I can help them. The reality is that it's a tiny amount of what's really going on. And the added pressure of someone else trying to fix them just increases the pain and just makes them that much more inclined, again with the building blocks, to just hide themselves out of the way so that people don't see it, they don't talk to them, and they don't have to tell people or share with people the pain that they've got inside. Because sometimes the pain and the crap that they're carrying would overwhelm others, and that's another aspect as well. They may well have people around them, but those people are going through their own version of shit, and then how do they tell somebody else who's going through shit that they need help? We're all going through shit. We're all carrying our own little, backpack of crap around, things we've got to deal with. Some of you, it might be just simple stuff. Others, it might be monetary things, relationship things, and then for some people it gets more serious. Like I say, when people start thinking about whether they deserve to breathe the air that everyone else is breathing, that's a different level of people carrying around pain. So as we saw in the first little example of all right mate, generally people just won't talk about it. they will avoid anything at all costs of revealing what it is that they're going through. So you may well believe that some of the people around you are very outgoing, very chatty. They're always interested in you. They're always trying to help other people. They're always finding ways to take themselves out of their own mind or body. And generally that involves them never really talking about what they feel, what they want to do, what's important to them. And it's always pushed. So how can they help other people? What can they do for other people? And, you know, again, a little bit of an insight into this one is if you are having a conversation, that they will ask you more about you and keep that conversation pointed at you, and offer ways to help you, bits of advice for you, so that it really stops you talking about them. This is obviously the sticky bit that I was talking about at the start now, is how the hell do you get someone who doesn't want to talk about themselves, who doesn't put themselves out there, who doesn't give any indication that they're willing to talk to you or want some help or anything else? How the hell do you talk to them, and how the hell do you get them to understand that this is a serious conversation you're having with them now, and you're not going to take the usual little deflections or, you know, the silences or anything like that, that you're going to sit here and you're going to wait until whenever it is that they want to open up and talk? And the reality is, it's going to take a lot of convincing, because they've heard this a lot of times. Not only do they not want to make you feel what, you know, that they feel inside, they don't want you to look at them a different way. But ultimately they've heard the opening lines of, do you need to talk? Are you okay? Is everything all right? I'm here for you. If you ever need me, just give me a shout. They've heard them like more than you've ever imagined. And really, this is the bit where you've got to be stronger than you've ever imagined that you could be. Take a deep breath, look them in the eye, and just say, I have no understanding. I don't know what it is you're going through, but I'm here. I'm in front of you. I'm not going anywhere until I can help you get past this. And the reason why you need to do that, well, this is going to sound brutal, because if you don't, it could be the very last time that you get that opportunity. The very last time that you ask them if they're all right. The very last time that they try to defend themselves by deflecting back, asking about your life, or they simply turn around and go, yeah, I'm fine, thanks, I'm okay. It could be the very, very last opportunity that that person gets to connect with someone, to generally ease their pain enough that they do value the air they're breathing, and they do want to actually see the value in getting up every day, getting through that day, and looking forward to the next day. I've made a previous video about mental health, and there were very mixed responses to that. And that's fair enough. A lot of you have no idea, you know, what people go through, how it makes them feel, what's going on in their lives. Some of you just get up in the morning, crack on, get home at night, switch off, crack on night mode, or, you know, work life mode, whatever, and you don't recognize any of this as a problem. It doesn't necessarily mean that your way is the right way and everyone else, you know, is daft, and if they just did it your way, you'd be fine. It generally just means that you're built one way and other people are built a different way. And that's the problem with mental health. And that's why it should be spoken about more often and more commonly, because you do need to get this point across to anybody, whether you want to listen to me or not, whether you think mental health is a stupid thing or a very important thing. But at the end of the day, actually, we all have mental health problems. As awful as this is going to sound now, but if you're the type of person that wants to scream and shout at my screen telling me, man up, that's a mental health problem. Or if you're sitting there crying your eyes out, seeing straight into my eyes going, I can totally see where you're going, that's a mental health problem, and everything in between. And that's why it's so difficult to understand mental health, to get the right help from the right people to the right people. And that's why it shouldn't be something that's done for 1 week or 1 month a year to raise awareness. It should be done all the time. And as awful as it sounds, it shouldn't be up to health organisations or charities or anything else. It's just down to us. It's that tiny little thing. It's just humanity. It's having the humanity within you to see it in someone else and care about the connection between you. And that's it.